Hey there riders, Moto Journo Kris here, and Yamaha have pulled the covers off an updated XSR700 for 2022, although as with the MT-07 facelift, this is a small one, mainly revolving around the new Euro 5 powerplant and of course a restyle. The XSR700 was actually a personal favourite when I tested it a number of years ago, with a bit more of a retro cruiser theme to it, but obviously built around the iconic CP2 engine, which offers really characterful performance. The XSR700 was, simply put, a looker, awesome fun, and handled great, and would have been my go-to recommendation for anyone stuck between a naked bike and something with a little cruiser feel to it, without reaching something like the Vulcan S for comparison. And that's when we're talking beginner to mid-range machines. It's worth noting the XSR700 in Australia is the Lambs version, which gets a smaller capacity engine to meet our restrictions. People will groan about that, but honestly, with minimal torque lost, the Lambs CP2 is still a belter, even if it's a 655cc version of the parallel twin, and down a decent amount of peak power. Testing the MT-07 LA or restricted version against the full power version or MT-07 HO, for instance, didn't really reveal a significant difference, which is really saying something. The only thing about the XSR700 is that for the retro theme you pay a bit of a premium over the standard MT-07. No word on the pricing of the new edition as yet, but I can't see that changing. We've also been told European arrival will start from April 2022. So what's new? To start with, Yamaha are calling this a Scrambler in XTribute version with some off-road features, including adding a set of Pirelli MT-60RS tyres for that blocky dual-purpose style. That'll probably offer a bit more confidence in gravel or on dirt roads, but with those cast-spoked wheels retained, this remains a very road-orientated Scrambler. The standard version will run Michelin Road 5 tyres in comparison. Honestly, the XTribute feels like a styling exercise, but it may help Yamaha sell more of the XSR700, which I do think is an underappreciated machine, as Scramblers are no doubt making a bit of a return, as riders want a do-everything machine once again. To match the change in theme on the XTribute is also the inclusion of off-road style handlebars with the crossbeam that Yamaha say is also wider than the standard units, while grippier pegs are also run and include a removable rubber insert. Hand grips are also described as off-road, but they look like pretty run-of-the-mill units to me, maybe a little beefier than what most road machines will run. Other special XTribute features include a revised cockpit layout with black LCD dash, the 1981 colourway, and an XT-style flat seat. The forks also run gaiters, which blacks them out completely and does offer a more genuine Scrambler feel. All versions have the engine updated to Euro 5 spec, as we knew was going to happen, so no real surprises there. The main difference will be that a more restrictive exhaust is fitted, bulkier with a collector at the headers and at the main collector near the exhaust, which looks fairly similar from the outside. The benefit there will be that fitting an aftermarket exhaust will be even more rewarding now as you lose even more weight, keeping in mind these bikes need a full system, it's not a separate header and collector and muffler setup, but that's not a change. In most places that'll be the 689cc CP2 high torque Euro 5 version, while I'm guessing we may see the 655cc Lambs version here in Australia once again, but you never know. The chassis has remained largely the same, with the existing tubular backbone frame and suspension unchanged from what I can see. That's 41mm forks, non-adjustable, and a monoshock at the rear with preload adjustment. For me, the suspension offered an exceptional ride, ideal for mixed road conditions and comfort without any wallowing. However, I'm 70 kilos or so that may vary by rider. Travel was 130mm at each end with no tech specs currently released, so I'm assuming no changes there. What has been beefed up slightly is the braking package with the inclusion of two 98mm rotors over the old 282mm units on the front, with the 4-pot Yamaha calipers retained. ABS is of course still standard. A welcome update is to the headlight with an LED unit now featured, which really do tend to offer a significant increase in light throw and as a result safety at night when that vision matters. The XTribute is listed as having LED lights all around, but the pictures of the standard also seem to have those same LED indicators fitted from what I can see. The headlight does include a split projector and half circle position lamp as well, while the tail light remains a more traditional round unit with snazzy indicators also shown. That dash is also moved forward for better clarity and visibility, while the headlight unit isn't as deep and seems more recessed in between the forks, reducing the impact on the front end. Other small updates include to the switches, which are apparently more user-friendly and allow LCD meter function access while reading, while the radiator covers are different and include the indicator mounting points at the front now, moving them from the headlight. Colour options in the standard 2022 XSR700 are Heritage White and Heritage Black, and they both look the business, with the XTribute running the 1981 inspired colours, which is listed as Tech Black in the Yamaha release, but looks to run a silver tank with that name referring to all the details which are blacked out. With much of the bike being unchanged, that's a benefit for customizers in being able to use older already available mods in some places, while an optional acro exhaust will also be available and probably be a must for anyone who wants to save some weight and get a bit more of an exhaust note as well. In the past, the acro systems with the silencer in are pretty tame if you don't like too loud, and removing the baffle really opens them up, if it's the same system that is. This very much follows in the footsteps of the MT-07 update as noted, with no really big ticket changes as far as I'm concerned, with no TFT dash, no electronics like traction control or ride-by-wire, or anything more fancy there. In fact, there's still no quick shifter. Personally though, I like the LCD dash and have to be fair, none of these things are really necessary. I guess more adjustable suspension to suit a wider variety of riders would be welcome if you fall outside the ideal operating range of the currently fairly non-adjustable system, but these bikes are just great things to ride. Of course, the SV650X, while not a scrambler, probably shares some overlap with the XSR700, while CF Moto's new 700CLX model is very competitively priced, where the current generation XSR700 is $13,300 in Aussie dollars here, now right away, and that's the old version, that's not the new version. The base SV650 is $10,490 in comparison, and the 700CLX from CF Moto is $9,490, both right away. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on the updated XSR700, and as always, thanks for watching and stay safe out there.